Hi everybody, welcome from HVACR Design Engineering. I am Tu Yao. Now I want to talk about condenser using air conditioning and refrigeration system. Residential air cool condenser. All condensers serve to dispose of heat that was absorbed by the evaporator. Some condensers use ambient air for cooling and others are water cooled. For air cooled condenser, the refrigerant is compressed to a temperature that is above 30 degrees hotter than entering ambient air. For water cooled system, the refrigerant temperature is about 20 degrees warmer than water leaving the condenser. Commercial air cooled condenser. Commercial air cooled condensers are larger and maybe have multiple fans to supply sufficient airflow. The only difference between residential condenser and the large commercial or industrial unit is size. They all serve the same purpose and operation is the same. Floating discharge pressure. Saturated condensing temperature is about 30 degrees higher than the temperature of ambient air entering the condenser. Therefore, the discharge pressure flows according to the ambient temperature. Discharge or head pressure refers to the saturation point of the refrigerant inside the condenser. When the ambient is 85 degrees, the condenser saturation point is above 115 degrees. About 30 degrees, it means about 30 degrees higher than ambient. With R22, the discharge pressure is about 243 pound per square inch gauge. Can you determine the outdoor ambient temperature when your high pressure gauge reads 226 pound per square inch gauge for R22? The answer is 80 degrees. What is the discharge pressure on an air conditioning system using R22 on a hot summer day when the ambient is 100 degrees Fahrenheit? The answer is 297 pound per square inch gauge. A 70 degree Fahrenheit ambient provides an ideal 100 degree Fahrenheit saturation point inside the condenser. This keeps the discharge pressure at perfect working condition regardless of refrigerant. Very hot or cold temperature causes problems related to discharge pressure. 5 causes of high discharge pressure. Dirty condenser, overcharge, air in system, no air or water movement in condenser, high suction pressure. Dirty condenser. A dirty condenser causes high discharge pressure because the airflow is restricted by dirt and debris. There is not enough airflow to remove heat properly. When a system is overcharged, the excess refrigerant remains inside the condenser. The working area of the condenser became smaller and cause the unit to work harder with higher discharge pressure. Air system. Refrigeration systems are designed to operate with one single pure gas. Atmospheric air contains multiple gases that are non-condensable in the system. No air or water movement. The condenser heat cannot be removed when the condenser fan burns out on an air-cooled system. The same is true when the water burns out on a water-cooled system. High suction pressure. High suction pressure causes high discharge pressure. High suction pressure normally occurs after a defrost cycle or when the unit has been turned off for an extended period of time. High pressure safety control. Excessive discharge pressure is not usual and a high pressure safety control is often used to protect the equipment. The high pressure safety control is normally set to cut off slightly above the hottest ambient temperature for your area. The example shows a hot day of 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which gives a normal discharge pressure of 337 pounds per square inch gauge PSIG. Allow some extra value and then the discharge pressure be 382 pounds per square inch gauge PSIG before shutdown. High pressure safety control are available as automatic reset or manual reset, with only the cutoff being adjustable. Condenser fan cycle control. When the ambient temperature drops below 70 degrees Fahrenheit, the discharge pressure becomes too low for efficient operation. A fan cycle control is often used to cycle the condenser fan and maintain proper discharge pressure. Other methods such as automatic condenser, damper, bypass bar, multi-fan fan and fan speed control are also used to maintain proper discharge pressure during cold ambient. Water-cooled condenser. Water-cooled condensers are very common in commercial and industrial applications. Water flow is opposite to the refrigerant flow and is called the counter flow method. Discharge pressure or saturation pressure should correspond to about 20 degrees higher than the temperature of water leaving the condenser. The two-in-a-shell water-cooled condenser is probably the most popular. The end can be removed for cleaning the water tube. When the system is running, the discharge pressure should correspond to a temperature that is 20 degrees higher than the temperature of the water outlet. Water cooling tower. Commercial and industrial systems often use a water cooling tower to cool the condenser water for reuse. The counterflow principle is used for best heat exchange. Water lost to evaporation causes the fresh water makeup. Evaporation leaves chemical and debris in the tower, which require periodic cleaning. The counterflow principle. The counterflow principle is used in cooling tower. The water falls downward and the louver serves to break the water into droplets that are easy to control, cool. Our airflow is provided by fan to maintain proper water temperature. Cooling tower normally drop the water temperature about 10 degrees. This is a cutaway view of cooling tower. The gush pan on each side have hole drain in the bottom to let water through. Each gush pan has a metal cover to keep leaf and debris out of the pan. Evaporated condenser. Some large systems such as ammonia place the condenser inside the cooling tower. These systems are called evaporated condenser because they take advantage of cooling process of evaporating water. Thank you very much for watching my video.